Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Your Success at Last DNA. Doing those daily needed actions, getting those daily needed attitude adjustments. You know, that motivational oomph that you're going to need every single day, and trying to provide you with those core inspirational building blocks that are going to help you get done what you need to get done. You know, reach your dreams, all the things you dream, desire, and deserve. Me? Well, as you heard yesterday, I'm Ace Brinkman, Mr. Sergeant Major Motivation around these here parts, and welcome back. If you heard yesterday's show, and you're still here, I appreciate you even more. You know, I was thinking about possibly not doing that show yesterday, and then I thought about something that someone told me over this past weekend. It was probably Friday evening as I was getting ready to get on the plane. She was texting me, and she made a comment. She was asking, "Hey, what you doing these days?" I haven't talked to her in about a year, and she Facebook messaged me, and, "Hey, I'm back." And the first thing I saw on my feed was you, and in one of your podcasts. And you know, I told her about what I've been up to, and you know, with the podcast and the website and the coaching and what have you. And she made a comment about transformational coaching as it used to be is kind of gone by the wayside. And it really, and her thought was, it has gone by the wayside, not because people don't care and aren't interested in it, because quite the opposite. Her opinion was that it had gone by the wayside and gotten diluted, so to speak, by all the jerks, the fakes, the phonies that are out there that are saying, "Hey, I can help you. Hey, I can help you. Come to my, come to my seminar, or come to my weekend retreat, and pay me a couple $1,000s, and you will see change." And some of them are still out there. And I'm not talking about the big names that we all know, because I've been to a number of their seminars, as I've mentioned a few times. But there are those shadier ones that are out there, and if you're into them, hey, more power to you. If you're into them, you're probably not the kind of person that's going to be listening to more than maybe one or two of these shows. I'm a bit more straightforward. I'm a bit more right between your eyes. I'm a bit more right from the gut and from the heart. I try to just to be me, and I think the best part of being real and being me is that if that clicks with you, then I don't have to fake it. If we end up talking to each other on the phone, I can still be me because it's what I'm good at, right? And so I don't have to put on airs. And if you ever see me in public, then you'll know the same you will see the same person there, and you'll know me as who I am. Now, there's a little bit of a slight difference. You know, I act a little bit different in public, but it's me. And so that's why I went ahead and put that show out there, just to kind of say, look, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. And if you decide to keep listening, man, right on, arm around your shoulder, pat you on the back, let's move on. And with that, we got today's show. And I was pondering what to write when I was making some notes. And I was thinking about some of the things I had done in the past. And I've made my fair share of mistakes. And I imagine anybody who's done anything worthwhile in their life has made mistakes. And then there's those mistakes that we look at ourselves in the mirror and we just beat ourselves up over. And maybe it's a mistake that you're making right now, or maybe it's a mistake you've made in the past and you just can't get over it. So we're going to talk about 3 ways to help you let go of that past and move forward. Okay? But before we go there, that's right, the question, you thought I forgot, didn't you? No, So with that is the question, and it kind of fits right in today. What do you want or need to change, right? I find most of the folks that come to listen to my show, there's something in their life that they're wanting to change. They're looking for that next aha moment. Some of them are looking for quick fixes. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're looking for the quick fix, I am not your guy, okay? I may give you that tip that helps you finally make that change. And I might not give it to you in today's show. It may have been in yesterday's show, last week's show, a month ago show, a year ago show. It may be in tomorrow's show or next month's show. But you may get that tip that helps you finally instantly make that change. But if you're not working on yourself to the moment that you find that one missing piece, then even that missing piece by itself is not going to help you. Okay? So you got to listen and you got to work on yourself almost, I'd say, on a constant basis, which is why I started doing a daily show, giving you that constant flow of ideas and tips and techniques and a little bit of motivation, a little kick in the rear, a little in your face sometimes, and sometimes just kind of a, hey, look, I'm your friend. I get it. I've been there. You know, you need both. You need the pat on the back, right? You need the consoling, and then you need the person, that best friend that just gets right up in your face and says, look, if you don't get off your butt, then I don't want to hear about it, right? So I try to be that real person, that real friend. Anyway, that comes back around to, what do you want or need to change? And so take the time today and ask yourself that question. What is it I want to change? What is it I need to change? Now, one of the things some folks need to change is to stop beating themselves up about a mistake that they made. All right? I think at the end of the day, the most difficult person for us to forgive is ourselves. I mean, regret and shame and guilt, all these things, they really prevent us from letting go of our past mistakes. I mean, most of us, there's a lot of folks out there that tend to dwell on those unfortunate things that they did, those times that they went through. And it might just not have been a mistake. It might have been one mistake that kind of puts you at the bottom of the barrel for a period of time, right? And rather than reflecting on the experience and learning from it so that they can move forward, they tend to dwell on those unfortunate times. You see, by refusing to forgive ourselves our regrets, we remain trapped in the past. And there was a period of time of about 2 years that I refused to give up my mistakes. I refused to forgive myself my regrets. And I got stuck on a dark path for about 2 years, like I said. And I remained trapped in that past, right? In that moment, so to speak, until I finally said, look, I got to shake this off. I got to stand up, got to brush myself off and move on. See, that's the good news. The good news is that there are some simple strategies that you can do to help you come to terms with the things that you may have done in your past, to help you learn from those missteps, those mistakes, and embrace your future that includes your success at life, your success at last, your success at life, your fulfilling life, your dreams, your desires, your goals, whatever you want to call them. So I want you to try some of the things that I mentioned if you're battling with some mistakes so that you can forgive yourself and move forward. First and foremost is be honest with yourself and about the mistake that you made, and then hold yourself accountable. All right? Here's one thing I hear quite a bit is, I did this, but here's why I did it. Or they're justifying it. Have you ever had someone hurt your feelings or do something that just made you mad, ticked you off, and then when they apologize, they say, I'm sorry, but, at the point that they say but, then the sorry just kind of gets erased as far as I'm concerned. Because now you're trying to justify to me why you hurt my feelings, why you did what you did to upset me, all right? If you're going to apologize, then just come apologize, all right? So what we need to do with ourselves is reflect on the mistake and it's really, I'm talking about mistakes that you're really unable to get over. These things that are kind of holding you back, okay? And then, so when you reflect on the mistake, you want to clearly identify what it is that you did. Oh God, Tracy, trust me, I know what I did, or I know what I didn't do. Well, what specifically did you do, right? And then own up to it. And own up to it instead of trying to justify your actions. Like I just mentioned, don't say I'm sorry to yourself, but I did it because so-and-so was treating me like a jerk. Yeah, well, so what? All right? Own up to it and just, there it is. Just say, hey, man up. Step up to the plate and say, I did it. I was a dummy, okay? So be honest with yourself in stating exactly where you went wrong. This, my friends, is the first step to letting go of that pain, that guilt, all right, and that shame that you may be feeling, all right? Take a second, examine the events and circumstances that led up to this faux pas, and be honest about how you felt then and how you're feeling now. Now, you're not the same person you were then, I'm willing to bet, and how you felt then may be different than how you're feeling now. I want you to consider how your mistake impacted other people around you in a physical as well as an emotional sense. Right? You may not have physically hurt anybody with your error, but you may have emotionally hurt them, or vice versa, or both. All right. So, and I think in this one here, you might want to consider talking about your slip up with a close friend. There goes my eye teeth again. With a close friend, a relative, perhaps a counselor. Maybe you have a religious leader that you trust. All right. Seek their opinion. Gain their feedback, their counsel, their advice about the severity of your error. It's likely that you'll see your mistake in a more forgiving light when you do, all right? Now, 2 more. Try to remedy the situation and make amends. Okay, right? Yeah, now you've owned up to it. Now try to make some amends. Consider what you could have done differently to prevent the misstep, and then develop a plan of action so that you will act differently the next time you're faced with a similar situation, or perhaps even the exact same situation today, tomorrow, or in the future. This can go a long way to help you forgive yourself. Okay? And if it involves other people, perhaps it's been quite a long time, right? This is maybe a mistake you did a month, a year, or 2 years ago. So if it's been some time since this situation occurred, and if the blunder caused harm to others, physically or emotionally, consider offering an apology and asking for forgiveness. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to get it, but you'll feel better just going through the process of offering the apology, right, and asking for the forgiveness. This action alone can be so healing for you and quite possibly for the very person whose forgiveness that you're seeking, all right? Now, perhaps you're unable to make amends. Maybe this person is no longer around. You don't know where they're at. You can't reach them. They've passed away. So if you're unable to make amends with those that you think or that you know were directly affected, perhaps going out and doing some good deeds, doing some acts of kindness to show yourself and others that you truly regret your actions. I'll take this one step further. This one just hit me. I haven't done this one in a long time. It was an idea I got from reading a book of Bruce Lee's, The Tao of Jeet Kune Do. And one of the things he used to do is he used to write his mistake out or his bad feelings out on a piece of paper and then burn the piece of paper. Okay? That's letting go of it. Here's a mistake I made. I'm sorry. I apologize. Oh, it's almost like I've heard the same tactic in a different style about writing a letter to the person whose forgiveness you're seeking and whose apology you're offering. Write out that apology to the person. And if you don't know where they're at and can't get it to them, well, then you can take that letter and you can burn it and let go of it. Or you can mail it to the last address. That way you're sending it out to the universe, not to get too woo-woo on you, but there's another idea. Perhaps if your poor decision, your mistake that you made result in a monetary loss, money was involved, try to make some restitution. There's an idea. Share your story with others. I found this one very cathartic as I started getting into Toastmasters, sharing some of my stories with others of the mistakes I made, so that they would avoid making the same mistake. That just drives it deeper inside of you to never do that again, all right? And then lastly, I want everyone to realize you have grown since you made that mistake. You are no longer the same person that made that mistake. You are not the person that's going to make that mistake again. Otherwise, you wouldn't be thinking about, oh my goodness, this one's stressing me out, right? If you're the same person that's going to make that mistake that you did in the past, then you wouldn't be worried about it. So continue to seek ways to help others avoid the actions that might lead them to a very similar lapse of judgment, and that will help you keep from doing it as well. See, in the end, all of us make mistakes, and sometimes they come with serious and grave consequences. Sometimes they just come with, a little pinprick kind of consequence. And sometimes they come with consequences that just alter our life permanently or for a period of time. Regardless of how serious the error may have been, all of us, yes, you, even you, my friend. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Even you deserve forgiveness. I deserve forgiveness. We all deserve forgiveness. So seizing the opportunity to repent and make amends will help everyone. Me, you, the person driving next to you, the person sitting in the seat behind you, heal and put it in the past. See, people often think they can't change their past. I tend to disagree. You can't change every mistake you've made in the past, right? But you have to remember, here's the thing. Time is fluid. Today is going to be tomorrow, and tomorrow is going to be next week, and next week is going to be last month, right? So every day that goes by literally becomes a part of your past. So whatever you're doing today will become part of your past tomorrow, which means you have the power to change your past by doing the right things today. Starting right now by thinking successfully and taking action, by seeking out that forgiveness you want, by learning from your past mistakes and moving on. Today we have the ability to continue to build what is going to be our past story, and that gives you the power to modify that story into one that you can be proud of. It's important to remember that your life is a whole of our past, not any one of its parts. Okay? The whole story is you. You're not just that moment when you made that mistake. There's no question in the end that making mistakes it's just about growing up. It's just about growing and trying new things. It's part of the growing process. But I believe, and I think if you're like me, and most of you are, that you believe that there is a way we can still learn and grow without making quite so many mistakes, or at least making ones that are, far less painful. How about that? All right? It's just, you're going to try something new, you're going to fumble, you're going to stumble, you're going to bumble, you're going to fall. You're going to stand up, oh, well, that was a mistake, I'm going to move on. All right? I'm going to learn from it, I'm going to move on. The way we do that is to decide now what our values are. And we talked about this just the other day, right? Yeah, that's how important your values are. Right? They all affect this as well. So if you decide now what values that you are going to stand for in your life, and then you go into each day determined, right, to stand by those values, no matter what happens, no matter what comes your way, no matter what temptation, you'll be amazed how much uncertainty completely disappears from your life when you already know in advance what you stand for. Decisions become easier, temptations just become on the wayside, your confidence gets stronger. See, all of these things helps you put your mistakes behind you in the past and helps you move forward far more quickly, far more confidently, and far more successfully. And when you make that next mistake, yeah, I know, it's true, right? Told you I'm going to be real. You're going to make another mistake. I'm going to make another mistake. So when you make that next mistake, as you know you're going to, as I know I'm going to, own it. Stand up, man up, own it, and fix it. And for heaven's sake, when that self-esteem reducing, pain-inducing stick of life comes swinging towards the back of your head, hopefully you'll have learned to duck. Yeah? That way you can stand back up, move forward, and reach your success at last. All right? With that, I'm going to leave you as I always do. Think successfully and take action. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.